Hello, this is Algebra 1, topic 2-3. We're solving multi-step equations. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to simplify this whole equation before we can then solve it. When we simplify, we're going to turn it into a two-step equation, which is just like solving when we're on topic 2-2. So I have y plus 4y. I circled these because they're similar. The y's are both the same. This 7 doesn't have a y. So y plus 4y, well, that would give me 5y. Minus 7 equals 13. Now this is a two-step problem, just like we were dealing with in topic 2-2. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. Those 7's cancel, leaving me with 5y equals 20. Now I need to divide both sides by 5. And I get that y equals 4. Now to check this, I need to plug this 4 back into everything in my original equation. So I'm going to use parentheses 4 minus 7 plus 4 parentheses 4. This 4 is for this y. This 4 is for that y. And notice it's the same. It's y minus 7 plus 4y. But instead of y's, I have used 4's. And now, we're going to go ahead and solve this. So 4 minus 7 plus 4 times 4. See, I typed it in here wrong. I typed 2 4's. 4 minus 7 plus 4 times 4 equals 13. And so that checks out. Now when we talk about number 2, we're talking about distributing. When you have those parentheses and a number outside, the way you do this is you multiply that number on the outside times everything that's inside. And so we get 3a. 3 times a negative 5 is a negative 15 plus 19 equals negative 2. Now we continue to simplify this. You'll notice I have a negative 15 plus 19. These are similar because they do not have the letter A, whereas the 3 does. And so I can go ahead and combine those. And so if I do negative 15 plus 19 in my calculator, I get 4. So now I have 3a plus 4, because it's positive, equals a negative 2. Now we're back to our two-step equation. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides. 3a equals negative 6. Divide both sides by 3. A equals a negative 2. We go to check. We just replace this a with the negative 2 in parentheses. And when we go to put that in, we get negative 2. And so it checks out. Now, as we move on to example number 3, this one's a little bit longer. We're going to have to first distribute and then combine like terms again. But I want you to notice that this is a minus 3. And we have to distribute the whole thing, not just the 3, but the minus 3. And so let's see what we get. Well, the 9 so that doesn't change. Now a negative 3 times 2r, well 3 times 2 gives me 6r, and it's a negative times a positive, so I stick with my negative. And now I have this negative 3 times a negative 1. Well, negative times a negative makes a positive, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now we have like terms to combine again. I have this negative 9, this positive 3. Well, negative 9 plus 3 would be a negative 6 minus 6r. Two-step equation. I need to get rid of the negative 6 in front. I do that by adding 6 to both sides. I get negative 6r equals, well, negative 18 plus 6 is a negative 12. Divide both sides by negative 6, and we get that r equals a positive 2. Let's go ahead and check that. So negative 9 minus 3, parentheses, 2 for the r, minus 1 equals what? Negative 9 minus 2 minus 1, negative 12, and we wanted negative 18. So obviously I messed up somewhere, and I'm looking and I notice I didn't put the 3 in these parentheses. So let me do this again. Negative 9 minus 3, parentheses, 2 minus 1. That equals negative 18. And now it checks out. Again, your checking may not give you the answer that you're looking for, and you have to go back and figure out what is it that I messed up. Did I mess up when I was checking it? Did I mess up when I was solving it? Okay. Go ahead and check to see if you messed up putting it in a checked solution first. That's an easy place to make a mistake, and you don't want to be digging through your problem looking for an error when you didn't make one. Now, for example 4, we have a bunch of parentheses that we need to go ahead and figure out what to do with. Notice there is nothing here in front of these parentheses. That means that we can just ignore them. Now we have a minus sign here. We can't ignore that. That minus sign actually gets distributed. It's as if there's a negative 1 standing right there. So negative 1 times x would be a negative x. And negative times a negative makes a positive 5. Basically, this negative sign just says flip all the signs inside the parentheses. Now, nothing happens with the plus 2x, so we just write that down, and all of this equals 0. Well, now we're back to combining like terms, so let me go ahead and do my x's first. I have an x minus x plus 2x. Well, if there's no number in front of the x, remember that's not that big of a deal. It's actually just a 1. So 1x minus 1x is no x's. So these actually cancel each other out. Plus 2x. So I have my 2x. Now I've still got two regular numbers. I've got this minus 3 and this plus 5. Well, negative 3 plus 5 would be positive 2. And this equals 0 still. Now we have our two-step equation. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 2x equals a negative 2. And now I divide both sides by 2, and I get that x equals a negative 1. Well, now we use our calculators to check this out. And every time I see an x, I'm going to put negative 1, and I'm going to keep it the same as much as possible. So parentheses, negative 1 for the x, minus 3, close it, minus parentheses, negative 1 for the x, minus 5, close it, plus 2, negative 1 for the x, equals what? Go ahead and just start plugging it all in. I want to go back and make sure that it looks exactly the same I put it. I don't want to make another mistake of typing it in wrong. Negative 1 in parentheses minus 3, parentheses, minus negative 1 in parentheses minus 5 in parentheses, plus 2, negative 1 in parentheses. We hit enter and we get 0. So that checks out. Now, for our last example, example number 5, and it is long. It's going to take us multiple steps of simplifying this, but don't worry too much. We're just going to go and do what we can. I'm going to do this inside one first, because I've got an inside set and an outside set. I want to do the inside first. So I've got this negative 3, and I'm multiplying it. And I can go ahead and do this one because there's nothing outside of it. So I can do the 5 and multiply it. Well, 5 times g would make 5g minus 5 times 7, 35, plus 2 parentheses g. And then negative 3 times g would be a negative 3g. And a negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15. Now, I could go ahead and bring these two together because they're in parentheses, or I could distribute the 2. I'm going to go ahead and just distribute this 2 to everything. So the 5g didn't change. The minus 35 didn't change. And now we're doing this. This plus 2 times g makes plus 2g. Minus plus 2 times a negative 3 makes a negative 6g. And plus 2 times a positive 15 makes a plus 30. And all of this still equals 0. Now let's combine like terms. Do my variables first. So I've got 5g plus 2g minus 6g. Well, 5 plus 2 minus 6 gives me 1g. And now I have a negative 35 plus 30 gives me a negative 5. And now this, again, still equals 0. It's a two-step equation. I'm just going to add 5 to both sides. I get that 1g, or I can just put g, because the 1 doesn't really matter. 1 times anything is itself. So that tells me that g equals 5. So all of this just to say, hey, g equals 5. And now we're going to check it. So 5, open parentheses, 5 in parentheses, minus 7, close it, plus 2. Even though it has a square bracket, I want you to just put a parenthesis because that's what the calculator will understand it as. And now g is at 5 in parentheses, minus 3 parentheses. That g is a 5 in parentheses, minus 5, close it twice, and let's see what we get. and I get 0. And so that checks. So the things we're doing is we're combining similar terms and we're distributing to simplify on one side, and then that will bring it down to a two-step equation that we can easily solve. Good luck on this assignment. Take your time and have a good day.